every experience we go through is a learning experience. And everything that happens, whether we like it or we don't like it, there is something that we can learn from it.
Welcome to the Lara Jane Layton Show. This podcast is for you, the person who keeps putting others first. Your self-talk has held you back. You no longer need to take a second seat. Let's explore ways to overcome self-doubt. You can silence that inner bully voice and achieve your full potential. Here's your host, Lara Jane.
Hello, friend. I know we have a new best friend with us, and it is Naima. And she is here to share with us how she has learned to master her own thoughts and the way she thinks about things that are going on to create that beautiful reality. How do we have the best life? And it would be, how do we think the best? How do we make sure our thoughts are creating a positive, gratitude-y kind of life instead of the victim and everything's awful? So all the information about Naima is in the show notes, and just jump down there when you're ready to get a hold of her. But help me today. Help me figure out how to be kinder to the way I talk to myself.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for having me. Kindness is so very important these days because of the amount of stress that we deal with every day. It's so hard to be kind to others, and it's so hard to, most importantly, to be kind to ourselves. But I found that one of the main things we're not kind to ourselves is because we're not paying attention to our thoughts. We're not being mindful. We tell ourselves stories about the experiences we go through, and we believe those stories, and we don't question those stories, and we run with them. We just believe them wholeheartedly, and that does not put us in a state, in a powerful, what we call in my training, a powerful state, because the moment we're not operating from a powerful state of being, we are in a suffering state. And when we are in a suffering state, we are disconnected from reality. So the most important thing, I think, is to catch ourselves, is to become mindful and catch ourselves when we have those thoughts, when we are berating ourselves, when we are talking, down to ourselves. Because I always tell myself, if a friend of mine came to me and asked me for help or asked me or to run something by me, how would I talk to her? I would be the most supportive friend that I could be. So how can I not do that for myself? Why couldn't I do that for myself? And every time I think about that, I just switch the narratives and I become kinder to me.
So it is, I get it. It's happening to me right now. And I do that. It's like, this is happening, so I must be an idiot. So just go hide. And it's like, how could it not be true? I lived it. How do we switch it up and live a new story?
You lived it, and you're going based on the evidence that you're seeing in your life, but you're not realizing that there is another reality that could be happening for you. And the only reason that reality is not happening for you, it's because you're blocking it with your own beliefs and your own thoughts and your own limiting beliefs. That's the reason why you're not seeing it. The brain is a goal-achieving machine. Whatever you ask from it, it'll deliver it to you. If there is another concept which is so important is called the power of questions. If you ask yourself intelligent questions, you'll get intelligent answers. If you ask crappy questions, you'll get crappy answers. If you go, how come I can't do this? Well, the answer you're going to get, because I'm an idiot. That's why. But that's not true. And that's another important point that we have to pay attention to, is that when we have those limiting beliefs running through our mind, they're not true. When you believe that you're an idiot, that's not true. Just because you had an experience where you didn't deliver the way you hoped or the way you expected does not make you an idiot. Or when we believe that, I'm not good enough. What does that even mean? Good enough to do what or for what? But we just take those labels and we put them on ourselves and we believe them, and we just make up all the stories based on those beliefs that we have.
It's kind of like going to the amusement park and going up to the thing. It's like, you must be 43 inches to be on this ride. But we do that same measurement all the time. And we make up things that we can do, but we say, oh, I can't because I'm not tall enough. I can't because I haven't learned this. I can't because, instead of taking that childish, fun, I can do this, because they're indestructible and they can do everything. And so how do we get that I can that lets us free? It's a big change in the way we think. And one thought at a time is like, oh, shoot, I just told myself can't again. How do I change that?
One thought at a time. You just said it. One thought at a time. Practice, practice, practice. Every time you catch yourself thinking a thought like that, you have to change your focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. The thing that you focus on grows. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. So the moment you catch yourself, and that's why in the beginning I said mindfulness, being aware and raising your awareness to your internal dialogue, being aware of what you're telling yourself, and the moment you catch it, you switch it. And it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're going to do it once and twice and 3 times and you're not seeing the difference. You're not feeling anything changing. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. The key point here is discipline, to keep doing it, to really have that desire to change, because it took a long time wiring those thoughts in your brain. And it's going to take some time to break those patterns. It's not going to happen overnight. So you just have to develop a little bit more patience with yourself and more compassion, and just trust and believe that it will happen and you will see the change. We see it all the time. People talk about, their stories and the changes that they made. So if it's possible for someone else, it's possible for you, and you can do it. You just don't give up on the process.
You think about it, it's like that bodybuilder. You don't go, oh, I'm going to go to a bodybuilding competition, so I'm going to do this tonight and tomorrow I'll be ready. Even our thoughts take practice, discipline, and remembrance. I got to remember to go to the gym today. I got to remember to reframe my words today. Like, I got to the gym and I lifted a 10-pound bar. Woohoo! I made it. Then I add weight and I add a little bit more, and you make progress. You just don't go in lifting 150 pounds unless you have been doing that. It takes the building of the muscle. And same with our thought process. And so next time, I think when we say, I can't, go, I haven't learned that yet. And I am capable of learning, so I will learn how. I might truly cannot do it right now, but it isn't because I can't. It's because I haven't learned it. And when we start pushing those mindset changes, then you start freeing your body up to learn and grow and do whatever it wants.
Yeah. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's it. Just start. But sometimes we're not looking at just the smallest next step that we can take. We look at the end result, like you just said, bodybuilding, or just keep it simple. Someone who wants to lose weight. You have 40, 50 pounds of weight that you want to lose, and you're looking at, I just need to lose 40 pounds. You're not thinking you just need to lose like half an inch in a week, or half a pound in a month, and just go so small, just the next step. If I could just go around the block and walk for 5 minutes, if I can't run, let's just walk. It's okay. Just start with the next thing that you can do. You don't have to be a marathon runner for you to do what you want to do. But we look at the end result and we feel so uncomfortable, and we feel like there is no way I can achieve that. Well, with that attitude, you can't. But if you just switch it to, what is the next step I can do? What is the next action I can take? And just start there. And the journey will unfold, and the next step will unfold. It's just like they say, when you drive in the fog, you can't see the whole road ahead of you. You just see, all you need is the next 10 feet. And then you go the next 10 feet and the next 10 will unfold for you. And that's all you need to do. and just trust that it's coming. It will unfold. The moment, it's amazing how when you take action and when you start, everything begins to unfold. But you have to start. I remember, I think it was Les Brown who said, you don't need to be great to get started, but you need to get started to be great.
Yes.
That's really important. You don't need to be perfect. We're all looking for that moment when we're perfect to do something, but we don't need that. We just need to get started so we can become great.
Well, and the fun part is if you get to the point where you used to think was perfect, you're not going to set a bar higher. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep moving forward. It's not just I made this goal, so now I can quit life and it's all done. We get to do it as many times as we choose. And it's that choice, it's that move forward process that makes life so enjoyable.
Yeah. We have to keep going. You have to challenge yourself. We have to discipline ourselves to get out of our comfort zone. There is no growth in comfort zone. Growth and comfort do not coexist. So anything that you want to achieve is on the other side of comfort. But we're so scared of leaving our comfort zone because of the nature of the brain. It's all for survival. So anytime we're trying to do something that we've never done before, we magnify it in our head and we feel like it's not safe. And your brain makes you feel like it's not safe. Your brain wants to keep you safe. So you have to stay in your comfort zone.
You know, the good news is your comfort zone changes. It does go with you. It does move forward. Or who would want to even change if it was always uncomfortable? It goes with you. You get a new comfort zone every time we make advancements or even side steps. It doesn't always have to go forward. It's just change.
And that's how we grow. You know, growth is outside of that comfort zone, and we just have to believe in ourselves, to take action and believe in the process and have faith that whatever it is we want to do, that we can. And it's a simple mindset shift. We have a choice. And this is one of the things that many of us don't realize is that we have a choice to think whatever we want. We may not be able to choose the thoughts that land in our mind, but we have the ability to choose the thoughts that we want to dwell on. If I have a thought that I'm not good enough, I don't have to dwell on that. That thought just came to me. I didn't have any control over that. That's okay. But I don't have to dwell on it. I can stop it. I can change it. I can look for evidence in my own life that I am created in the image of God. I am great exactly how I am. And with so many other examples, not just, the good enough thing. A lot of people, sometimes we believe, I can't do this, or money is hard to make, or I can never get a break, or you can choose to cancel that thought and replace it with something that's empowering to you, not keep thinking thoughts that are hindering your ability to move forward and to create what you want in life.
Yeah. That's beautiful, because we do need to give ourselves the opportunity to change and to grow and to make baby steps and to know you're in a new spot with each step you make. And you get to choose again, whether you move forward or sideways, whatever. You get to go. And it's when we can break down our goals into smaller things, that one step gets you closer to hundreds of things, not just your one goal. And so if all of a sudden you're not interested in having that red Camaro anymore, you don't have to keep going for that. You have the $5 or $6 in the bank that you saved. You can now make a new dream, something that you want to go after. It doesn't mitigate the actions you already took. You're already closer to the goal because you've made steps already.
Yes. You have to believe. You have to believe that you're closer to what you want to achieve. That's the only way to keep going. But many of us don't do that because we don't want to believe that we can do something or that we can reach our goals, because what if it doesn't happen? Then I'm going to be disappointed. And that's when I say, well, what if it happens? It's a 50-50 chance. Which one do you want to take? And this is where I mentioned the power of questions. We ask ourselves questions all the time. But a lot of times we ask crappy questions. Oh, what if this won't work out for me? Well, what if it does? Then what? Then you'll get to have everything that you want.
Well, let's talk more about these questions. First, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey, since I rarely have openings in my coaching schedule, I have a new resource out there on my website. It is called the BFF Coaching Network, and I have offered a spot there for any coach that has been on the show to list their coaching. You can go out there, you can listen to their episodes, you can feel a little bit about them, and then choose a coach that will work for you. So LaraJaneLayton.com, the BFF Coaching Network. All right, help me frame my questions. This has been something, is it like when I say, why did I do that? Or why did I say yes? What is a dumb question or a crappy question to ask?
So a lot of times we ask ourselves, well, how do I do that? And we get stuck. The moment we say how, if it's something that you've never done, your brain has no reference for it. So it's blank. It's just like a Google search. You put something that was never been searched before, which is impossible, I guess, in Google. You're not going to have any answer. So if it's something you've never done, everything that we experience, we have a memory of it in our brain. It's wired in our brain. If it's something new that you want, you have no idea. And many of us get stuck in the how. Well, how do I do that? Well, I don't know. Okay, well then if I don't know, then I'm not going to try. Or if I don't know, well then I'm stupid. Or so-and-so was able to figure it out. How come I can't figure it out? And then we stay stuck in this loop of, questions that are basically preventing us from reaching our potential, from reaching for, the next steps that we can reach for to create what we want. And we just stay stuck. But instead of asking, well, how do I do that? One of the best questions to ask is, what is the next action that I can take? What is this next smallest step that I can take? Whatever it is you want to do, you know what to do if you just break it down into small actions, into small steps. You want to lose weight? What is the next thing? The smallest action I can take? Okay, I can start just walking around the block. I don't know anything about diet. That's fine. Let's just take action. And in that walking around the block, you'll figure out the next things to do. You'll probably meet someone who is in the same journey and they will show you what they're doing. And now you know what to do next. And the steps just keep unfolding for us. But you have to take action for that to happen. Life corresponds to what we do and what we don't do. But for life to correspond with us, we have to take action. We have to show that we are willing to go after this goal and then let the rest unfold and not block ourselves by asking questions that we don't have answers for.
So the best question to ask is, what is the next step I need to take?
Yes, I do that all the time. Every time I'm starting something new, I have no idea what to do. But I just sit there with myself and ask, well, what is the next thing I can do? And another thing in my coaching, a lot of times, people say, well, I don't know. But we do know. And the moment you tell me you don't know, and I will ask you, if you did know, what would be the answer? And that will help trigger something in you to just come up with some type of action that you can take. If you did know, what would be the answer? And you'll figure it out. But you have to be willing. You have to open space for you to find that answer. If you just keep blocking yourself, I don't know. You'll never find out.
I like, if I did know, what would it be? Because it's challenging yourself to push past the I don't know.
Exactly. And it helps you to dig a little bit deeper into your own potential. It's there. It just needs to be uncovered. That's it.
Okay. I like it. So let's summarize. So in this power of beliefs and changing our thoughts, when we aren't being kind to ourselves, you mentioned how would my best friend help me with this? How could I be my best friend in this case and support myself on this journey? You talked about our thoughts in when we have that limiting belief of I can't or I don't know, to challenge it. Say, I can learn. Where would I learn this from? Or if I did know, how would I take, or what next step would I take? And then we've also talked a lot about just that being okay with the results and not like trying to, well, that wasn't successful. It got me closer. So instead of being frustrated with the progress you've made, I'm closer. So now we've relieved the thought up front of I can learn it, and we've given ourselves the support to do it, and we've acknowledged it's okay with right now. So are there other steps I missed in how we've been talking, kind of that process of changing our thoughts?
I think you covered it pretty well. The other thing I would add, it just reminded me, is when we go through those experiences that we label as failure, there's another way to look at it, is what did I learn, or what can I learn from this? Because the moment you label something as failure, for example, that's it. You feel defeated. And if you're defeated in your mind, there is no hope. But we can ask a question, what did I learn, or what can I learn from this experience for me to keep moving forward, so I can keep moving forward, so I can take the next action? Because every experience we go through is a learning experience. And everything that happens, whether we like it or we don't like it, there is something that we can learn from it. I love Napoleon Hill. He said, with every adversity comes a seed of great benefit. Everything. All the challenges, all the setbacks, there is a seed of great benefit that's in it, but you have to be willing to find it. You have to accept the situation or the challenge that unfolded in your life so you can see the benefit that came out of it. You have to look for it. Yeah.
It's what we look at. Like, the grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is greener whether you water it. And how can you water the grass around you to make sure the grass is always greener right under your feet?
You can water it by making sure that the meaning you give that experience that you go through is something that's supporting you. It's not hindering you. That's how you do it. You have to always look for the good in every situation, because there is something good in every situation. I believe that life is always working out for me. So whatever happens, I find a good reason why it happened. Whatever it is. If I'm stuck in traffic, I'm going to be late for my appointment. I can focus on, I'm going to be late for my appointment. Well, I can focus on, this is maybe happening to prevent me from an accident. And now how can I use this time? Well, let me listen to my favorite podcast, or call a friend, or do something. You have a choice what you want to focus on. Everything that happens to us, we have a choice. What do we want to focus on? Which end of the stick we want to focus on? The negative one, or you can find the positive in every situation. Yeah.
You can find that thing that motivates you.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's a thought process. And if it doesn't come quick now, the more you practice, the quicker it comes. But I still use it every day because, I have a lot of programming that has gotten me to where I'm at, but it's not taken me where I'm going. And some of it gets to go away.
Exactly. Like I say all the time, I'm not yet where I want to be, but I'm so grateful I'm not where I used to be. So it's all about progress, not perfection.
And I don't even know what perfection is. I just know right now it's the best moment it can be at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Now is all we have. It's this moment. Tomorrow is not a promise. All we have is right now. That's why it's called the present, right?
Right. So, Naima, would you tell us how to get a hold of you, a little bit about what you do? And we've talked a lot of wisdom. What's that one thing I should do to this day to be closer to being my best self?
The one thing I love to say every time is, don't believe everything you think. just question your thinking. Question it with every situation that you go through. Question the thinking and don't believe everything you think. That's a starting point.
But I thumped it. It's got to be right. I like that. Don't believe everything you think. And so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a certified mindset coach. I'm also a speaker. I'm an author. I co-authored a book with the legendary Les Brown. Is my entire life story and how I overcame all the setbacks as an immigrant who moved from Morocco 25 years ago to come to the US and in pursuit of the American dream. Went through a lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks, but mindset work is what turned my life around. And that's why I'm so passionate to help other people, professionals and leaders overcome anxiety and fear and overwhelm and stress and turn their life around just like I did with mine. And you can find a lot of information on my website at naimaspencer.com.
Thank you, Naima. That's been great. I really appreciate your time today. Friend Naima and I are not licensed medical or mental professionals. We're here for entertainment. People have found ways that work for us and want to share, hoping it can make your road just a little nicer. Hey, and if you get a minute, jump over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. Thanks and have a great day.
Are you tired of waking up exhausted? You are not alone. If you're looking to take your life back, let's start with the simple step of adjusting your self-talk. Stay tuned for the next episode with your host, Lara Jane. Remember to follow the show so you don't miss a next simple step that you can use to feel more confident. And please leave an honest review.